Hi, and welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am really glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, May 11th, 2023. It's my daughter Holly's birthday. Happy birthday, Holly. I love you. Well, that's one of the blessings of having a home production. I can do things like that. But I'll get down to business here. In this video, I'd like to take a quick look at last night's town hall with I hate to say former, but I'm on a platform that requires it, President Trump and the nasty person. So there were some takeaway moments for that. This is one of those videos where there is so much out there available for even the least investigative of you, that you can look at clips and see some of the moments I'm talking about. Okay, now during this town hall, what was really fabulous was that there was a standing ovation for Mr. T. There was applause when he spoke, not catcalls and boos. As I hear it, there's a liberal push to leave CNN. What, all 300 of the viewers because of that? They're offended that our Mr. T had popular viewpoints. And I don't know that the audience was so much stacked as more reflective of the demographics of the vast part of our country with family values and patriotism. And so here's what I wanted to do. I've heard that this was actually a very good thing for the candidacy of Mr. T. Now I have to be careful because with the tarot cards, the universe is very literal. So if I was going to simply ask if this was good for his candidacy and there's not going to be an election, we're going to get muddy results. I've read on this in the past, and as far as Mr. T's status, and gotten the clear message that he never left. And you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's just ask the universe. This town hall last night covered a wide range of topics. I did appreciate that Mr. T refused to get goaded into saying who should win the conflict that's going on in Europe. He said it should be settled. I thought that was a very good way to phrase it, and that if he had been president, it wouldn't have happened. And if he officially gets back in that position, it will be a done deal in 24 hours. So I thought that was very good. But settled is, I think, what anybody with any logic would hope for in that situation, to have it settled, and hopefully to where most parties are, fairly happy with it. When he was asked about a national abortion ban, he didn't make a commitment one way or the other, but he did say that currently the people that are pro-life have a strong position, and he did go on record as saying that Roe v. Wade should have been struck down, and indeed it was. And as a result of that, states have the right to make their own choices about that procedure's legality and availability, and all those sorts of issues that go along with it. I don't see that personally changing. This is a Laura's View thing based on a little tarot and some logic, because our country was initially set up for states to have rights that actually were greater than that of the federal government to decide the course of the people within their borders. So, I mean, yes, obviously accountable to the Constitution and everything, but I just don't see that becoming a national thing at all. And so I'm glad he didn't get goaded into any positions like that. So let's see. I mean, one of my beloved satirists says that the town hall guaranteed the election. I'm not so sure there's going to be an election. So that's why I said I want to be really careful how I phrase this question. Let's just ask the universe for insights and information about what the outcome is for this town hall. Okay, the outcome, especially related to Mr. T and his visible position or the person seen in the public eye, because we know sometimes there's doubles and stand-ins doing things. So the person seen in the public eye is Mr. T. what are some of the insights and takeaways we can have from this town hall last night. And I believe it's an hour that's well worth your time, but if you just want to look at a few clips, there's lots of compilations on the Bluebird site or here on YouTube. So you can find some quick compilations of, that session. And yeah, when he kept getting interrupted by the reporter, he called her a nasty person. So, and she was interrupting him. And I don't think that's good journalism, nor is it good manners. It does sometimes happen when we're, excited about a topic or something like that. But if your job is to be a professional interviewer, it's deliberate. It's absolutely deliberate. Okay, so let's see what the universe wants us to know. What's the takeaway? What are the insights that we can glean from this town hall? And one last thing before I do. So we have conservatives that are leaving Fox in droves because of Fox's mixed messages and removal of the most popular anchor they've ever had. And now we have the 300 liberals in the country leaving CNN because they dared to have Mr. T on, and it didn't go as well as they thought, and he even got an ovation, and that was very offensive to them. And 17 keeps telling us we are the news now, and to handle that with care. Is this going to help take that exodus away from cable news? Is it going to make it's so easy to get your news from other sources. I'm wondering if one of the takeaways is going to be that the mainstream, this is changing and the news outlets are changing. But let's find out, okay? Takeaway, especially for Mr. T, possibly about the MSM, whatever the universe wants to let us know for insights and takeaways about the town hall held last night on May 10th, 2023 with Mr. T on CNN. Okay, insights, information, takeaways from this town hall with the person seen in the public eye as Mr. T last night on CNN. What does the universe want us to know, to focus on, to have as our mental summary of the event? Okay, our first card is the Magician. Strength, 2 major arcanas. Then we have the 10 of Cups. The World, 3 major arcanas. Page of Swords. Page of Wands. The Fool. 4 out of 7 cards are major arcanas. Important question. The universe is glad they're getting a chance to weigh in. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is share the insights the cards are giving me. Then we'll look at, as we always do, at the elements of the cards that bolster that position. Okay, there should always be a blend here. You should never be saying, I don't care what the cards say, take my word for it. There will always be a blend of intuition and the insights that the cards provide. Okay, now our question was indicated by the Magician. As I said, these are all major arcanas. Okay, now these 2 cards work closely together. We've got the Magician, which is about manifesting and having a good plan forward that can come to fruition. Okay, access to every element needed to make that happen, to make manifest the outcome that's desired. Okay, then we have the Strength card here, which is a card of just kind strength, loving strength, grace under fire. As I mentioned when I was talking about the town hall, I noticed that Mr. T, even though he called that reporter a nasty person, he didn't do it with, his face all red and sputtering or anything. It was said, just rather without a lot of emotion. And I like that. Again, grace under fire, not getting goaded into taking a position that he wasn't ready to. Okay. She had no idea who she was dealing with as far as fortitude and what have you. If you're expecting a buffoon, you're not going to get one. Okay. When you deal with Mr. T. All right. Recent past, we have the 10 of Cups here. Celebrating. Okay. There's no other way to read this. everybody in this picture, which is, you know, a family, all generations are celebrating. So we've got, and then we go here to the present card, we've got the world. The world was watching, okay? Wreaths in tarot cards are a sign of victory, okay? This is a very positive card. It's showing up for the present, okay? So we've got celebration. We've got a victory that's worldwide, not just, you know, for the United States. And then we get into where I'm seeing that, yeah, it does look like there's going to be more and more of an exodus away from cable news. And people are going to be using things like Elon's platform, where he is going to be letting creators of content monetize and other things like that. So cable's kind of going away. We went from network to cable, and cable's going away to online sources. And like I said, once you go there for your news, it's very easy to find some differing opinions and get a more balanced view of current events and people in the news. Okay, now I say that because we got the Page of Swords here coming along for the near future. And the Page of Swords is about truth and being perceptive. Okay, so people are going to be seeking truth and being able more readily to find it. And then swords again are about justice for on the one hand, but they're also about our written and spoken words, and that would be the news. Okay, now clarifying this card a little bit, giving us insights about it, some strength and what have you. Again, we've got the Page of Wands, which is a cautious optimism card. Okay, so yeah, this has been a very strong moment. He may have walked into the lion's den, but he had that under control from the start, other than the interrupting, and even then he handled it pretty gracefully. Okay, and then again, this is one of my unofficial white hat cards because I always found it humorous, and the universe knows what elements strike you as a card and resonate. And so yeah, this is a white hat alliance card here. It's also, more importantly, the cautious optimism. So there is, the white hats and alliance are noticing that not only are people waking up, but they're learning what to tune out and finding out where to tune in. Okay, now I'm saying that because look here, our final card now that's not as important as this card about cautious optimism, okay, and truth and perception, but it does provide a little bit more insight that's really valuable here. And the Fool is always talking about starting out on a new path, okay? And you take those first steps somewhat in faith, okay? But in the case of the tarot cards, where this is Major Arcana 0, that stepping out in faith led to a life of adventure and a life path that's inspired all of the ensuing Major Arcana cards, okay? So there's some new paths for humanity, for our country, for all countries, that are going to be made manifest, that are going to be more evident as time goes on. Let's get a couple more cards and see if there's additional insights to be had here. We've got the Knight of Wands showing up. That's a card of energy and forward motion, okay? And then the Lovers, another Major Arcana card. And that card is about balancing needs and wants. It's about partnership. It's about love. And then the Sun is a major element of that. So I'm finding this, I'm not finding anything negative as far as fallout for that for Mr. T. And I am seeing the winds of change are hitting the MSM and will continue to do so. And let's recap. We were talking about the town hall that was held on May 10th, 2023 with Mr. T and asked for insights and information. We didn't question what it would do for his candidacy because there's just too much up in the air about legal statuses and will this type of election happen in November? So we just left it for insights and information. Now here's what we got. First of all, we got a lot of major arcanas showing up here all along the central row, which clarifies the question, the situation, and then the current events. Okay, for the question or situation, we had the Magician, which is about the ability to make manifest. what you want to have and having everything at your disposal to do so. And then the strength card, which is a loving strength card. It's not a military strength card. It's grace under fire. It's having a good eye on your objectives and being able to achieve them, okay, without wavering, without falter. So just beautiful. And then central to that, we have for the central card, we have the world. Just a reminder to us that even though this town hall had to do with politics in the United States, ultimately the world is involved. We're joined, we're connected, we're interconnected. There's no way around it, no way to avoid it. Okay, we can have some separate politics and situations in a country, but we are one human race and we are linked by that common humanity. And that is recognized by the universe. And the world has a read card, which signals victory. So this was a good thing for the world. Mr. T, this was his first time on CNN since 2016, I believe. And it went very, very well. Okay, it went so well that there's a lot of celebration going on about it. 10 of Cups is all about celebrating and celebrating in a good, healthy way. Okay, that there are things that family values can celebrate, that regular people will be able to partake of. Okay, now we got some insights about the MSM. Page of Swords is showing up. Okay, swords are our thoughts and words. Okay, this is for looking ahead. And it looks like the exodus away from MSM and into more online sources for your news, and possibly in that process, getting to other more balanced viewpoints, showing up with the Fool, because that's setting out into a new path. So again, we've seen this. We've seen news go from, first they had the criers on the corners, then they had print media, so people could buy newspapers, then radio, then we had TV, then TV morphed into cable news, and cable news is going the same way all those other predecessors have gone, and people are using online sources for their news. I would encourage you, if that is you, while you're in the process now of changing from cable to online access, look at some other viewpoints. Just check out some other viewpoints, okay? The world is not all about fear, even though the former powers that were wanted that to be our focus, fear and anxiety, okay? It's not all about that. And there is good news to be had, to be found. There's good news to create by being good to yourself, your family, your neighbors, those around you. It may not get celebrated, it may not get in the news, but if you have a chance to do something nice for someone, just because you have a chance to do something nice for someone, please do it. Let's make this world a little better place, and it starts with us. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for your time, your attention, for subscribing and listening. I appreciate that time, and I try not to waste it. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, I wish you love and light and all things bright. Bye.